What's up, everybody? It is Josh. I am here by myself. I've been stranded. Don't know what day it is at this point, and I have been told I am here to show things. So Hannah is not here. She got caught up still with the whatever we called it, the scheduling conflict that was happening, and then we don't even have Chris. He also had something scheduled that got moved. So we are here with Brandon, who has never manned the wheels before, but he's doing great. So, but yeah, we are going to show off some of the unlocks. So we have painted versions of the previous Patreon sculpts. So again, they're a little bit bigger. Our Patreon sculpts are scaled a little bit differently, and then they have some different bases, but the same general pose, everything like that, right, that you're going to be getting. And then we also have a special thing to show off as well. So, and then of course, if any of you have questions, anything like that, feel free to drop them in the chat as we continue on. So I guess we can go ahead and show off some of the painted minis. So we'll swap over to our overhead cam. Oops. As I drop things. I tried to grab everything that had been unlocked. I may have not grabbed them all, and I will probably also mess up the order, but I know we've shown these off before, so this is the big warg. I know a lot of people were really excited about these. I love how characterful they are, but Spencer painted these up. Here in the studio, here's our second warg. There is a third pose that we made for Forge. So initially there were only two. So we don't have that second or third pose or second version of this one, but it's at sort of a different angle and kind of twisted a little bit in a different direction. Still gives you a good idea. I love the wargs. Let's see what else we've got. So then we have one of the rats. So you can see him here. I really like these rats. I think they look good. I really like this guy and then the other one too. I forget who made the joke. We'll show the other sculpt here too. So here was the other rat that got unlocked. And you get two of those, remember, as a part of that stretch goal. But they were like, oh, there's a bunch of dings and dents in the armor. A bunch of road dents was the joke that he made in the comments. So I appreciate that joke. You're great. Wonderful joke. But yeah, I really like it. I like the shield holding the sheath sword. A lot of good action. You understand what's going on there. Okay, what do we got? We got, let's look at our owl here. I know a lot of people love this one. We got the nice spell book and everything. I know a lot of people were happy to see that. And then here we have our friendly swordsman here with Fox. And again, these were all painted previously from our Patreon releases. So they're a little bit larger than what will be produced, but gives you a good idea of what to expect. I like how I rolled the fox into my hand there. Very risky. Let's look at the turtle monk here. Tuatar, sorry. Big staff action. I really like this sculpt. Really cool. Fun. Let's see, we have this as well. I really like the expression on this one. Good posing. But it's been great. I really have been super excited about the pacing of the unlocks and everything that we've been seeing so far. Trucking right along. I'm hoping we hit the 120 today as we continue pushing into now the second map of the Forge Master's Vault. Now, these prototype prints, right, are a lot larger than the others, but it gives you an idea. So these were painted up with sort of like magical flames. So they'll be smaller. They'll be on, I don't remember exact, I think 25 mil bases. That's why you get so many of them. But this gives you a nice idea of the shapes and volumes. And then we had we'll look at the ghoulies here last. Or, well, no, we actually still have the orcs as well, but here are these. A lot of people were really excited about these. And someone had asked, I remember specifically, that they were wondering if there was a chain on that leg, and there was. A chain.
And those are also bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that we're showing off that's painted, except for some of the heroes that we showed off last time, they're, again, slightly larger.
Also, their bases have been reduced.
Yeah, and so the bases are different. Obviously, we're doing hips, flat bases, so anything sculpted in, right, is sort of trimmed off and then included onto the mini now, rather than having a produced base. So, like, the base on this vampire, right, clearly different than what you're getting. I really like this vampire sculpt. Very regal. Regal vamp vibes. And then we had the orcs, which a lot of people really loved. I think these sculpts are so cool. They are big, chunky trackers. They're big cloaks. The awesome weapon on this one. And then the lady orc. Equally as fierce, if not more so. Which, these orcs tie in great to something that will be coming soon. Most likely, well, I don't want to say the day exactly. I know when we want to do it. But we are, I'm just moving some stuff out of the way here currently so I don't mess anything up. We have a couple of expansions that we're doing that are going to be available as add-ons, so they're not included currently on any pledge. So they will just be available for purchase on top of everything that we have currently available as add-ons. But the first one that we're doing is an orc expansion. So for those of you that want to have a bigger orc experience, right, you can see one of those new poses here. Now, what you get is a good value at first, but as funding continues, we add to those expansions. So similar to a regular stretch goal, sort of bolstering the numbers of everything you're getting, this then just grows with that expansion. So things will continue to be added to them over time at certain funding amounts. However, this is sort of the first foray into the orc expansion. So we've got that one. We've got this lady right here, menacingly holding a dagger. Or maybe pondering with a dagger. You never know, right? It's hard to tell. And this lady right here, with a very small hammer, clearly. Then, the boss lady of all of the orcs, we have this awesome Jarl. So you can see here, really, really awesome, imposing, got a huge blade, magical, gemerald on top, standing on top of a dead dragon head. What more could you ask for?
Carl was asking, what about the wagons?
What about the one wagon you get? There you go. You get one wagon. We've already seen it.
J Basic G was asking, will you be sharing pictures of the painted minis? They look so good.
Yeah, so we want to, or we'll take stills from the streams. There's always a plan to do something, and then there's always something that comes up. So, but yeah, we want to, and a lot of the stuff was painted before I was hired as well. So some of it, we might want to repaint. Some of it maybe not. It just depends, right? And then we're still pitching an idea of whether or not to do like tutorial painting streams or videos as well on like maybe the heroes or some of the cooler creatures, things like that, right? I know obviously stuff like the dragons I'll be painting as they come along, and you should hopefully see probably next week sometime. I don't know what time in the week, but a work in progress of it's the brass dragon, right? That's being copper. The copper dragon is being sculpted right now. It's been blocked out and everything, and it's getting posed and coming to life, so you guys can kind of see how the artwork translates to a sculpt. But all of our sculptors literally do like a near one-to-one translation most of the time with the art that they're given. So if you like the way that artwork looks, it'll look even cooler when it's sculpted. So but it'll still look pretty accurate. But the last thing that comes in the expansion that is the big beefy piece to Resistance is you get the orc hut. Look at this thing, okay? Now, I have a micro head for those interested and very small hands, so it's hard to tell the size of this thing. But it's really big. It's not going to show up on the overhead camera, so unfortunately I can't really do that for you. But an orc right next to it, okay, it is the size, like the door is the size of an orc, and then the lid comes off. So if you are doing an encounter or whatever it is that you need this for, whether it's tabletop terrain in general, or if you're doing it for a role-playing game, you can do stuff on the inside. So, but yeah, you get this awesome hut. It's really cool. It's got wood latticing, these gigantic bone pieces, giant antler things on top as well. But yeah, it's really rad. So you get this, you get the big Jarl. The retail value on both of those is going to be a lot higher than the standard minis that you're getting. And then you also get the 3 additional orcs that are brand new poses too. So you're getting brand new sculpts, brand new poses, and an awesome new piece of terrain that obviously goes well with all of the other orcs that have been provided. And then with continued funding, you will then unlock another portion or more, depending on how well things go, right, of cool, more orky stuff. And this is one of a few things that we plan to just add. So you'll be notified whenever we unlock those for everybody to peruse. So, but yeah, really exciting. All of us here are really pumped and excited that the momentum has been going really well. We're going to be doing some cool featured videos and stuff like that with some content creators in through next week and through the end of the month into next month as well. So you may see some of your favorite people that you watch online doing some painting or other stuff with our minis. So keep an eye out for that. As always, if you have any sort of last minute questions or anything, feel free to ask in the chat. I will sort of hang out here. You can see hut nice in the center. This terrain's really cool. We painted a lot of it up from that previous release, but it's cool that we're gonna include the hut. So if that's it.
Carl was wondering, what are all those bottles on the table?
What are all the bottles on the table? Well, as you guys know, one of the things that I have been working on since I've gotten here is sort of helping rein in some paint, and we have some paint. If you want to go to the top-down view, so sort of like I've said before, the paint that we have been aiming for is extremely high pigment stuff. So we are looking for definitely artist quality paint, things like that. And so I'll kind of show you. Now it's hard to see or guess, right, when you're looking through the bottle, sort of the quality or intensity of the pigment. Now you can see how pasty, anti-sun my skin is in all of these shots, so we're not like doctoring the saturation in these shots. But to give you an idea of sort of the color mixes we're working with, you can see how rich all of this pigment is. These are like our official first batch samples from the range of colors that we've been engineering. I hand mixed pigment for every single one of these colors on purpose for various reasons. As for a name, release idea, anything like that, we don't have any of that planned, but just know, or set in stone, I should say, but just know that this is developed and ready to rock. I know over the break I'm going to be using these exact paints that you're seeing right now to do some painting because I have to test literally everything. I don't know if I'm going to use every color, but you can see that these pigments, actually this color isn't coming out the same way that it looks on in front of me, interestingly. But it is super saturated stuff, really high pigment. The viscosity is really, really low or high. I don't know which term. It's very fluid paint. And it can be thinned incredibly thin with water without breaking. So the manufacturer we're using is the industry giant, without naming names of other companies, because why would we? I'll put it like this. You probably own some stuff that these people have made, and we are working with them to produce something entirely different that is going to be really, really awesome. So definitely excited about that. We have many, many more bottles available. This brown is so good. If you know anything about paint, like I know about paint, that brown gets me ready to do some bases. I don't know. That sentence was so lame. I'm sorry. I'll just remove myself from the stream. But either way, yeah, that's something fun that we've been working on. We're excited to talk more about that as well whenever we have time. And if I happen to paint something over the next few days that I can take a photo of and show off and everything, you will see it.
They're like, please call them normal names.
Oh, normal names? Actually, so it's funny you say that. Absolutely, it's going to be. Not only is it going to be normal names, we're going. The idea is to take sort of a more like academic approach to the paints in general. So you're not going to get like phlegm belch green or like mud skipper brown, nothing like that, right? So it'll be extremely easy to understand and communicate. Especially if we are doing, painting videos, instructional stuff, anything like that. Now, if we potentially release stuff in the future that is tied to a game or a product that we are releasing, and it makes sense for us to do a pre-mix color that's like, this is this thing, so you don't have to try and do that yourself, we can name it after the thing, right? That you would obviously know what it is if you're buying it for whatever that line or game may be. But yeah, we are, my dream has always been to have a paint line that is based on food, because I feel like everyone would understand what that means. But I can't do, burrito brown or blueberry blue, something like that. It's just, I just can't get that. But beyond that, very simple naming and everything. It shouldn't be, you don't need like a dictionary to write everything down and remember what it is. So, but yeah, I hope that answers.
Trying to sabotage you. He's like, yep, we're only going to name them goofy names.
Whatever. I mean, hey, I'll do anything for this job, as I've said many times. So if he wants goofy names, I'm here for it. I will completely change my attitude and be more than excited.
We had a request if we can show the spiders again.
Spiders again, yeah.
Yeah.
Now remember, these are bigger. I'd say these are quite a bit larger, actually, because they were meant to be big critters when we released them for Patreon. So they are going to be scaled down quite a bit. That's why you're getting so many of them. But these are painted up as sort of teal magical flames, as opposed to maybe fire flames or whatever else you may want to do. But so here's what they look like. Again, these are a lot bigger. All of these painted miniatures were from Patreon releases. There are a couple brand new stuff that was never available on Patreon. Obviously, the dragons are brand spanking new as well. So the ones that are being sculpted currently, I haven't painted, obviously. But yeah, this kind of gives you an idea of what they look like. They're really fun. And I don't want to spoil anything, but usually, life is, there are more than just one kind of spider in life. I'll put it that way.
Chris
So.
already spoiled this on his interview last night.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he didn't show them, but he mentioned what they were. So.
Okay, well, yeah, there's also more cool spiders. So if things continue to fun the way that they are, that's not the only fun, exciting spider that you'll run into. Sorry, trigger warning for people with arachnophobia. Sorry, should have said. Little heads up on that. Maybe they didn't look realistic enough to scare you. But yeah, if that's it, I think I did it. I think we're there. So yeah, any other questions? Obviously, get on the Kickstarter, post a comment. All good. Join the Discord. Check out the Discord. Join us there. You can ask questions. We're always in there checking everything out like that. Otherwise, I hope you can take some time off, eat some turkey if that's your thing. Otherwise, have a good rest of your week. We will be back next week at some point. Nothing is planned or scheduled, but hey, we will let you know as soon as we get that figured out. And yeah, I hope you find $20 in your pocket and everything goes your way. Thanks so much, guys.